hometown of Rushford. News Center's Jim Bunner joined others in paying their respects to an American hero today. Jim.
Shannon, a Navy veteran named Joseph Johnson, was memorialized today. He went missing after the attack that brought America into World War II. DNA testing recently identified him after 77 years, and he was finally laid to rest.
A Minnesota World War II veteran has finally come home.
While Navy Seaman First Class Joseph Johnson's remains have come home, others weren't so lucky. 4 Minnesota soldiers from the USS Oklahoma have yet to be identified. Family members of Joseph Johnson tell me that they're thankful that he's back home.
Johnson was killed in action on December 7, 1941, while on board the USS Oklahoma when the Japanese attacked Pearl Harbor. He went missing for decades until recent DNA testing identified his remains. Johnson is the 5th Minnesota sailor to be identified and returned home from the Oklahoma. His long-awaited funeral was held Saturday in Rushford.
I think this is an important issue for all the families that have lost individuals in wartime. Obviously, I'm 74 years old. He died 2.5 years before I was born, so I never met him, never talked to him. But it's one of those things that's kind of a family legend. You know, you hear the stories, so you feel like you know him.
Johnson's nephew, Dennis Rislov, has a message for other families who may be waiting for missing veterans to return home. Appreciate the efforts being made to try to bring relatives back.
I think the message is that freedom isn't free, and that plays well in the memorial services that are being conducted for all these sailors being returned.
Fellow veterans honored Johnson today at his service. Information from the Defense POW MIA Accounting Agency shows 1,400 Minnesota service members from World War II are still unaccounted for, and 4 sailors from the USS Oklahoma remain to be identified. Live in the studio, Jim Bunner, KTTC News Center.
And thank you for sharing his story with us, Jim. Meanwhile, in Iowa,